Hello and welcome to Editing with My Wife. Now with one active listener. Thank you, Shemari Reborn. I know, but did I say I'm the Hooded Philosopher? I'm the Hooded Philosopher if I didn't say it. And I'm here with my co-host Cheesy Loops. Cheesy. What kind of podcast are we even doing here?
It's a podcast where the listeners are great artists.
Yeah, that's no doubt. All right. Now, so, before we start, we need to recap. Bum, bum, bum!
Chapter 12.
Right. I'm going to try something different.
Oh, you're always going to try
You do the first
different.
two, and then I'll give the last two. You just kind of give a brief description of the first two.
Okay. Hooded changing up the plan again.
I'm trying to figure out what we want for this to sound like. And I think both of our voices kind of going back and forth would sound best right now. Kind of what we're doing in the dialogue.
Chapter 12, a plan set into motion. So they find HQ for the first time, get to explore it with the help of Zig, who teaches them how to use it.
What does it look like?
It looks like a screen. Half the room is a screen, and the other half of the room is not.
How narrow is it in your head?
It's not narrow.
It's like a big wide room.
It's a big circular room.
Circular. You're going circular.
Yeah, I'm going like ovally or like...
Okay.
It's cylindrical, but...
Definitely a length to it more than it is a
oval.
width.
Yeah, it's an oval cylindrical thing.
Okay.
So the walls are straight up and down. It's not curved.
That's the way you see it.
What is...
I would be happy to... Oh, yeah, I see it. It's fine. Okay. It's steam.
Oh, it's steam.
I would be happy to hear anyone else's opinion on this, too. What they saw when they heard us talking about this new HQ. And then... as they're searching for the tree.
Robert's looking for the tree. He realizes his impending doom in the situation of which he's in, being two consciousnesses in one instead of two people on different Earths.
Nothing to merge. He'll not make it through. He's already been merged.
Not make it.
And then they find Mom. They figure out that there's these plants called dew pots that...
You're going...
No,
okay.
That's it. That's what the next thing. Then they find the dew pots, and they talk about how these plants can take people inside of them and then create a copy, and that copy can eventually become the other person, especially if his connection is severed. So they go with Izzi and Hannah, and Otto kind of taking point, making sure they're safe.
What's in the next episode? That's the next chapter.
Yeah, I was getting into it.
Otto's not a part of the plan.
Not originally. That's true. That's
chapter
true.
12.
Otto was just originally going to go on with them. And just going to go get them through. But when he made the portal, he figured out how to make the portal go to Renner's bladder from the Red Earth without having to make any real connection. So pretty much from anywhere he can, if he has enough patience to try and hunt for a spot, he can click into a portal to Renner's bladder from anywhere as long as it's been opened.
Focus on chapter 12.
And so on chapter 12, he figured out how to do that.
No. In chapter 13, he did.
No, that's not with portals. Meaning that's where he figured out how to do it.
I see.
Yeah, so...
I'm sleepy.
They went to Infra Earth, and they made a portal to the other Earth. And then in Too Many Moms, what did they do?
Incipient Infiltration. And I just wanted to say incipient, because I've been saying it all day today. I did at work today. I said incipient to somebody, and they're like, Anyway. So,
I think big words are fun.
It is fun.
So the infiltration is like about to happen, and they're walking around, and then Otto gets up onto a building and kind of watches from above, and they start to see what the building is. The
physical eyes versus the computer eyes.
Yeah.
And then they create a distraction with a creepy metal child.
And then Izzi jumps in and cuts open the flower, and Mom's and some other people come falling out. And as she's taking Mom out, she hears another female voice saying, "Help me!" And she goes down into this trap door she finds her mother, her actual mother, because the one she had saved was the boys' mother.
Yes.
And then they got a hint that something awful was happening on Zig when she cut the flower. So as they were going back, the boys came running out of a portal with a bloody horror coming out after them. And Hannah wrapped the metal around the bloody beast, and they jumped through the portal, and then the beast got a whack on her and struck her back. And as she was flying, and Izzi winched her to safety, and they closed the portal, leaving the bloody horror down on Infra.
They're not being very nice to Infra.
Well, I mean, they are planning an attack.
All right.
Now,
Chapter 14.
And Hannah is currently unconscious from the strike. It hit her real hard.
Chapter 14. The bullets exist for no reason.
No reason. All right, let's go back to this.
Hydration.
Oh, that was a former title. Oh.
Ha ha ha.
Okay.
Exist for no reason.
So I have some tools under my keyboard making it all wobbly.
Listen, my tools are important.
All right. So how's the lemon pudding with a raspberry reduction?
Oh.
So glorious. Anyway.
I get so spoiled.
Right. Lots of story too.
Uh-huh.
I just want to do it for everybody.
I edit for pudding. and the reason why it's pudding is I'm not good at it either. All right. Take it away, Hooded.
On the other side, Robert asked, "Please show me Infrazyg." The screen displayed the whole of Infrazyg. All over were little red dots. The event were everywhere. "What are they?" he asked. "They're like toddlers made of diamonds. They like to stab stuff," Renner explained. "And they have wings." A line of Zygmus led around the event, then led into the mountain entrance via the main cave. There were about 30 event crowding the entrance. "Any ideas?" Robert asked his sons. They were at a loss. "One of them might need to draw them away," Otto offered. "Do they have any motivation?" "No, just stabbing, it would seem," Renner answered. "What about Bunker? She could draw them away," Otto asked. Renner agreed. "Yeah, probably. She got a taste for them last time." He looked at her big giant puppy dog eyes. "Would you do that for us?" She licked his face, her intent clear. Bunker walked over and sat next to the exit. "So we just follow the Infrazyg mist until we find a panel, then blow it to hell. Seems easy enough." "It sounds easy," Otto said, checking over the rifle. Renner walked over and opened the door. Bunker stepped out after Otto, with Robert taking up the rear. The air seemed the same. It was daytime. The crystals reflected light everywhere. The team pushed through, following the line, the crystals adding to the confusion. Nevertheless, they arrived at the edge of the geode. Robert's breath had become heavy. "Something's different," Robert huffed. "I don't think movement is as easy on Zig unless you can shuffle through dimensions," Otto noticed. Renner laughed. "Getting out of shape, old man?" Robert eyed his son, saying nothing. They arrived at the bottom of the mountain, and it took about as long as it does when one can't step through into other dimensions. The boys were getting winded now. As they walked around the base of the mountain, there were thousands of them crawling all over the forest, the skin glinting in the noonday sun. But the wide spaces seemed to be unoccupied. They seemed to group around covered places. "Are you ready, girl?" Renner asked, putting his hands on her face to get her attention. She licked his face in agreement. Bunker took off as fast as she could, and as soon as she got as many would follow, Renner watched. He stayed back, watching his pet run off into the horizon. Otto and Robert looked around the corner and saw a single event really close to them. Robert motioned for the rifle. Otto handed it to him. Robert grabbed it by the barrel and swung the stock really hard at the creature's head. The look of surprise shattered into a million pieces. Robert handed Otto back the rifle as they went deeper into the mountain. Renner's concern for Bunker made him stand by the entrance, ready to give her a signal.
All right, real quick. Slow down your reading. Find your natural pauses. Because you're just reading it.
They walked around the base of the... He could see the mass of creatures. They followed Bunker's erratic path. The gap between Bunker and the event seemed to be closing. "Bunker, come back!" Renner shouted and whistled. When he saw Bunker running toward them, he ran inside ahead. Otto and Robert had found the panel and was trying to get it off. "Come on, please. Just break," Robert said. And as he and Otto put all of their strength into prying off the panel, prayers were answered when he heard the screech of breaking metal. There were vines in it, all right. all connected and wrapped around an alien-looking brain. Otto reached in the bag for the device and retrieved it. Otto handed the device to Robert. Renner came running around the corner. We're running out of time. Renner looked back to see Bunker coming around the corner. Otto, portal! Otto threw Renner the assault rifle so Otto could open a portal back to their world. Robert put the device into the surrounding veins. He put the device onto the surrounding vines. Bunker was close now when she was suddenly surrounded by the event. Too afraid to hit Bunker, Renner swung the gun like a club, freeing Bunker just enough for her to shoot through the portal. Renner fell in after her, bleeding from several places. Otto closed the portal, but it was too late. There was now a single event making a mess of the mountain. Robert grabbed the gun and swung it at the creature, shattering it before the sharp bits in its hand could be pressed into his skin. Does this thing have bullets? Robert asked, handing the rifle to Otto. Doesn't seem to me that we need them, Otto said. The body of the event disappeared, leaving Renner as the only unconscious being on the floor of the mountain. Bunker limped next to Renner, licking his wounds. Her intent to help felt loud and clear. Robert began applying the curative Zig had left them to Bunker and Renner. Zig and Izzi appeared in the mountain. Izzi came running over to them, asking, "What happened?" Otto was worried. Renner and Bunker were stabbed several times. Dad is using the curative on Zig that Zig gave us. Did you do it? Izzi asked. Robert nodded, taking his eyes off his son. Here, help me get him on the bench, Robert asked Izzi. She grabbed his feet and Robert had his shoulders. They put him on the bench. Then, out of nowhere, everything began to shake. Infrazyg is no more. Otto went to open a portal, but there was nothing there. He shook his head. This means that in order to go to the other world, we need to be on the planet. Hannah just woke up. What's going on?
Is that tough?
It's harder if you slow down. It's like there's a smooth river where there's not a lot of choppiness, and there's a fast river where there's not a lot of choppiness, and that's just because the rocks are lower, and those rocks are the things that would interrupt the speech. And so when I slow down, the rocks seem to make more of a trouble.
Because you don't know how to read out loud.
I more like I'm just trying to get the information out. What's relevant is what the information is saying, not the way I'm saying it.
It is important. Okay, scroll back up.
Well, it is important to others.
Scroll back up. Yeah. Right now, it's important. On the other side, Robert asked, "Please show me Infrazyg." The screen displayed the whole of Zig. All over were little red dots. The event were everywhere. "What are they?" he asked. So... he asked with the clacks. Eyes
this
on
is
the
so
screen.
that the listener knows I'm here and not saying anything. That's what it's for.
They're like toddlers, made of diamonds, and they like to stab stuff, Renner explained. As he reached into the bag for a snack for Bunker. Except for that should be a capital B, because that's her name. Okay. And they have wings, Otto added. The line of Zig mist led them around the event. Then... oh, wow. Though they don't seem to fly.
Then they have wings, though they don't seem to fly.
Yeah. Alright. The line of Zig mist led them around the event. Then and into the mountain. Then and into the mountain. Then into the mountain. Entrance via the main cave. So keep then, just get rid of and.
Well,
you're seeing this line happening into this main place.
yes, and he's seeing it, but what I'm not saying
Is clack clack clack. the large screen showed the line of Zig mist.
Because it's the Zig mist. It's so he's looking on the screen. He sees the path they're trying to take, and he's seeing it kind of shift depending on where the creatures are.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And then...
Okay, because you changed that sentence, it says, the large screen showed the line of Zig mist leading them around the event.
Or that led them around the event.
Okay. Then into the mountain entrance via the main cave. I couldn't even start that sentence. Shifting it. Shifting with their motions. And then end motions with the comma.
Movements. Sorry.
Movements.
Then into the mountain entrance via the main cave.
There were about 30 of Rent crowding the entrance. Any ideas? Robert asked his sons. They were at a loss. One of us might need to draw them away, Otto offered. Did they have any motive? Robert asked. No, just stabbing, it would seem. Put a comma after no. They just like to stay.
Stab.
Renner answered, making a stabbing motion. Oh boy.
Where would you want? Were you saying? No.
No. Just stabbing, it would seem. I feel like, okay, so I do recall that you wanted Otto to be the comic relief.
Renner has kind of got his own sense of humor.
He does.
But his sense of humor is serious.
I've not seen Otto do much comic relief lately, so I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah,
it could be intentional.
He did see his mother stab his father in the face.
Yeah, that's fine. That's
that
fine.
would. I'm trying to get at that. That humor. It can be a tool to get you through trauma, but if the trauma is too great, humor doesn't help. It's actually just reigniting the trauma.
Yeah.
So I don't know what he's gonna say or do that's funny right now, but he'll come back.
Okay.
But I mean, seeing your mother and stab your father in the face would make it hard to want to smile sometimes. I bet.
I just making sure that you were aware of what was happening and if it was intentional.
Well, we could add it in. I mean, he is that, but maybe Renner isn't experiencing all the trauma. Everyone else seems to be experiencing.
I'm happy with that.
But that's because if there's a second story, Renner is going to get all the trauma.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. All right.
Especially since money would be.
What about Bunker? Comma. She could draw them away. Otto asked. Ooh, yeah. Kneeling. That's wrong. Kneeling down to pet her.
Is it K-N?
Yeah, it's K.
I'm not American, so.
Whatever.
I'm not. English is my first language.
Capitalize Otto. Comma after Bunker. Why'd you put a period?
Because it was supposed to be a comma. Because English isn't my first language. Don't you see this? Give me some slack here.
You have no slack. Renner agreed. Yeah, probably. She got a taste for them last time. He looked at Bunker and her giant puppy dog eyes. Would you do that for us? She licked his face, her intent clear. Bunker walked over and sat next to the exit. Okay, so what exit? Because they stepped out of the portal, so they're not in a portal right now. They're not in the bladder.
The exit of HQ.
Of the HQ on Infra HQ.
Yeah. For anything that happened on Zig is happening to all of them at once.
Yeah.
And he makes new rooms like that.
I just want to make sure it was clear where
yeah.
they were at. So we just follow the Infrazyg mist until we find a panel and then blow it up. Blow it to hell. Okay, hold on. Until we find a panel. Then blow it to hell. Seems easy enough. And this is Robert saying this in my head. So
it is, yeah. Is that not?
Nope. That's if it's clear, then it's clear. I assumed as such because both Renner and Otto know this is not going to be easy. Sounds easy.
I think that's bad because he just said seems easy enough. So what if it was I just had a thought, and then it, poof.
You pooped it?
Seems easy.
But it's not. It seems easy. But wait till you see him in action. Seems easy, but...
So easy.
So easy.
So easy. Otto said, checking over there, so easy. This is going to be so simple.
It's going to be easy peasy lemon squeezy. The runner walked over and opened the door. Bunker stepped out after Otto, with Robert picking up the rear. After Otto, with Robert picking up the rear. The air seemed the same.
Yeah, this is a lot of sentences.
That's
what's going on here.
Or is it one sentence just kind of broken up?
Right now it's all sentences, and I want to reflect it.
The air seemed the same. It was daytime. The crystals reflected light everywhere. It was daytime. The crystals reflected. So the air seemed the same as on their Zig.
Yeah, I think what I was doing there was maybe something I could use in the future, and that's condensing thoughts into certain sentences, so I can just fill it with the words that need to be there.
The air seemed the same as on their Zig. It was daytime with a light breeze. The crystals reflected light everywhere. Now you already have. The team pushed through the following the line. Hold on. So you have the next sentence literally says the team pushed through following the line, the crystals adding to the confusion. So reflecting like light everywhere, making the line of Zig mist bend funny off in the distance. The team pushed through following the line.
Renner walked over and opened the door to the outside. Bunker stepped out after Otto, with Robert picking up the rear. The air seemed the same as on their Zig. It was daytime with a light breeze. The crystals reflected light everywhere, making the line of Zig mist bend funny off in the distance. The team pushed through following the line. Nevertheless, they arrived at the edge of the geode. Robert's breath had become heavy.
Yes. He's so bad at reading out loud.
I'm bad at reading. I'm the writer here, right? I'm the one doing the writing, not the reading.
You should be good at the writing, so the reading is easy.
I need a reader to help me understand what they're reading. I don't know what they're reading. I'm reading what I'm reading.
Okay, so anytime
and it
there's
isn't very good.
Comma or period, you need to make sure you put the appropriate pauses.
Are we just talking about punctuation?
No,
I'm just going to not care about punctuation.
You just kind of like...
Sure.
You just kind of... it all out.
That's because these hands of mine, they suck at typing. Did you notice that?
But you were reading, not typing.
Yeah. I speak the same as I type.
The air seemed the same as on their Zig.
It was jumping around.
It was daytime with a light breeze. The crystals reflected light everywhere, making the line of Zig mist bend funny off in the distance.
Off ahead of them. I like that more.
Off ahead of them.
You get the idea. Like they're looking through the crystal and it seems like it's doing this way, and then when they turn around the corner it's turning straight. They never turned.
Yeah.
It just looks funny. Everything's all different.
No. Off ahead of them. Oh. The team pushed through following the line. Nevertheless, they arrived at the edge of the geode. Robert's breath had become heavy.
There's two periods there. See that?
Yeah.
That's how heavy it got. It got so heavy he needed a second period.
Something's different, Robert huffed. I don't think movement is as easy on this Zig, unless you can shuffle through dimensions. And they're talking about skipping, right?
Yeah. So I put skipping through, unless you can skip through dimensions?
Yeah, skipping. Yeah.
Winter laughed. Getting out of shape, old man.
Robert eyed his son, saying nothing. They arrived at the bottom of the mountain, and took about as long as it does when one can't step through. Renner hit his father on the back. as they walk. As they wailed.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry my fat finger didn't hit the K like I thought it did. And then it had a J in there. So walk. English isn't the best language. And it wasn't my first.
Yeah, gibberish was. They arrived at the bottom of the mountain, and it took its bout as long as it does when one can't step through into other dimensions. Which is not what they're doing. They're skipping through this dimension. They can't skip through.
Yes, but in order to... It's like every step you take is taking you to a different dimension, and it just inevitably lands on the one you need.
Okay, so I just want you to hear it again. It took about as long as it does when one can't step through into other dimensions.
Okay. They arrived at the bottom of the mountain. It took about as long as it does when one can't step... when one can't step through into other dimensions.
Okay. Skip.
But it's the same word. I'm trying to let it be more poetic here.
Jump. Can't. Hop. Can't.
That's
easily
fine.
Navigate. Okay.
The boys were getting winded now.
They rocked around the base of the mountain. There were thousands of them, crawling all over the forest, skin glinting in the noonday sun. I would, after them, before crawling, put a comma.
There were thousands of them. Oh, no, that's right. No, there were thousands of them crawling all over the forest. There were thousands of them crawling all over the forest.
Yeah.
There were thousands of them crawling all over the forest.
There were thousands of them crawling all over the forest. As they... Sorry. Oh, it's just too funny. As they walked by.
Skin glinting in the noonday sun.
But the wide space seemed to be unoccupied. So, no comma and decapitalize B. Such a weird sentence to say. Decapitalize B.
What are you talking about?
The thing you just deleted.
Oh.
Yeah. The wide spaces seem to be unoccupied. They seem to group around covered places.
There's a lot of seeming going on.
Yeah, a lot of seeming. It's really short sentences that don't seem to flow well. So it says hold on. Let me read this. Oh, okay, just type. The wide open spaces were unoccupied. They seemed
to be.
The wide spaces were unoccupied.
The wide open spaces.
The wide open spaces, yeah. But put a comma because the two sentences are connected.
Why?
The wide open spaces were unoccupied.
Derp,
they seemed to group around the covered places. You ready, girl? Runner asked.
Which could be its own thing, right?
Yeah, it could. You ready, girl? Runner asked, putting his hands on her face to gain her attention. She licked his face in agreement. Bunker took off as fast as he could.
Hold on. Let me try this.
And then took off.
No, actually.
Then after a moment, she took off as fast. Sniffing the air. Alright, she looked in his face in agreement. Then after a moment...
Turned around, sniffed the air, and then so she's getting a bearing of what's going to happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She took off as fast as she could. As soon as she got as many would follow. Runner watched. That feels
That's
awkward.
bad. That's really bad.
That feels very, very awkward.
Runner.
While she got as many would follow.
As soon as she got as many as she could follow.
Not as soon as. That doesn't need to be there. Okay. You could have kept most of that sentence. You could have kept the idea.
Well, I don't think it goes there. It doesn't go there. Because the next sentence is he stayed back watching his pet run off into the horizon. Otto and Robert looked around the corner and saw a single event. Robert motioned for the rifle. Otto handed it to him. Robert grabbed it by the barrel and then swung the stock really hard at the creature's head. The look of surprise shattered into a million pieces. Robert handed Otto back the rifle as they went deeper into the mountain. Renner's concern for Bunker made him stand by the entrance, ready to give a signal.
He could see the massive creatures.
It doesn't need to be. That was just bad. It's not even
okay. He could see the massive creatures. They followed Bunker's erratic path. The gap between Bunker and the event seemed to be closing. "Bunker, come back!" Renner shouted and whistled. When he saw Bunker running toward him, he ran inside ahead. Otto and Robert found the panel and was trying to get it off. "Come on, please, just break," Robert said, as he and Otto put all their strength into prying off the panel. Prayers were answered when they heard the screech of breaking metal.
So, hold on a sec. We got a problem here. Because then the vines were all right. They wrapped around the brain. Oh, never mind. Something didn't sound right. Say that. Come on, please just break.
I hadn't read that part you were just reading. "Come on, please just break," Robert said, as he and Otto put all their strength into prying off the panel. Should be just one sentence. Prayers were answered when they heard the screech of breaking metal. There were vines in it, all right. Yeah. There were vines in it, all right.
Strength of prying off the panel. The prayers were answered when they heard the screech of breaking metal.
Yeah.
There were vines.
There were vines in it, all right. All connected and wrapped around an alien-looking brain.
Okay.
Otto reached in the bag for the device, retrieved it, and handed it to Robert. So, no "and" between device and retrieved it.
Otto reached into the bag for the device, retrieved it. It's just commas.
And handed
commas
it.
Separating retrieved it.
Yeah, and handed it to Robert.
Why can't the device be there?
Okay, Otto reached in the bag for the device, retrieved it, and handed the device to... Otto reached into the bag for the bomb, retrieved it, and handed the device to Robert.
I spelled it wrong. Device instead of a device.
A device?
Instead of a device.
Renner came running around the corner. "We're running out of time." Renner looked back to see Bunker coming around the corner. "Otto, portal!" Otto threw Renner the assault rifle so he could open the portal back to their world. So he could open a portal back to their world. Robert put the device in the surrounding vines. Bunker was close now, when she was suddenly surrounded by a rent. Too afraid to hit Bunker, Renner swung the gun like a club, freeing Bunker just enough for her to shoot through the portal. Renner fell in after her, bleeding from several places. Too afraid to hit Bunker with the bullet, Renner swung the gun like a club, freeing Bunker just enough for her to shoot through the portal. So here's the funny thing here. He's all of a sudden bleeding from several places. So you could say, too afraid to hit Bunker with the bullet, Renner swung the gun like a club. While... Yeah. You get what I'm saying. As the event lasted the... As the event engaged in their favorite pastime.
So Renner swung the gun like a club as they switched their attention, which made them switch their attention, freeing Bunker. Yeah.
Yes.
That means he gets stabbed there.
Yes.
Which
made them switch their attention. Get rid of switched, just make it switch. Their attention.
Freeing Bunker just enough for her to shoot through the portal.
Renner,
Bunker does the shooting here. There's no bullets, but Bunker does the shooting.
Renner fell in after her, bleeding from several places. Otto closed the portal, but it was too late. There was now a single of Rent making a mess of the mountain. Robert grabbed the gun and swung it at the creature, shattering it before the sharp bits in its hands could be pressed into his skin. Does this thing...
Flesh. Flesh is a better word. Where
Yes, yes. The last word in that paragraph. Big chunky paragraph, last word. Flesh. Does this thing even have any bullets?
Do you think any needs to be there?
I don't know. Does this thing have bullets?
I should italicize have. Or does this thing even have?
Yeah. Does this thing even have bullets? Yeah.
Does this thing even have bullets?
Robert has handing the rifle to Otto. Doesn't seem to need them if you ask me. That's a little, like, that's a little bit of Otto coming back there.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem to need them.
Yeah.
The body of the event.
Renner's funny when it's serious.
Yes.
When it's not serious, he's just living his life having fun. He'll say stupid things, though. It'd be funny that way.
The body of the event disappeared, leaving Renner as the only unconscious being on the floor of the mountain. Bunker limped next to Renner, licking his wounds. Her intent to help felt loud and clear. Okay, so Bunker limped next to Renner, comma, licking his wounds. And then I would comma it. Okay.
Yeah. That is a different sentence. He's licking the wounds, and then Robert begins applying the curative.
Yeah, her...
To Bunker and Renner.
Intent to help felt loud and clear to everyone in the room.
Although...
Robert began applying the curative Zig had left them. To Renner first, at Bunker's request.
Yeah. Like Bunker kind of sent a feeling out him first.
Yeah. Zig and Izzi appeared in the mountain. Izzi came running over to them asking, "What happened?" Otto was worried.
Renner and Bunker were stabbed several times. Dad is using the curative that Zig gave us.
So period after times.
Yeah.
Did you do it? Izzi asked. Robert nodding, not taking his eyes off his son.
Here, help me get him on the bench. Robert asked Izzi. She
grabbed his feet. Robert had his shoulders. They put him on.
There's only one quote on this.
And yeah. Putting him on the bench. You don't have to say they put him on the bench. It's a loud thud. So get rid of...
They put him on the bench with a loud thud.
So listen to what I'm going to say real quick. She grabbed his feet and Robert had his shoulders, putting him on the bench with a loud thud. You don't have to say they.
Okay.
You don't, because you know who's putting him on the bench. Then out of nowhere, everything began to shake. Infrazyg is no more. Who says that?
Yeah, Infrazyg, clearly. I need to put him in here.
What is going on with that sentence? There we go. Otto went to open a portal, but there was nothing there. He shook his head. This means that in order to go to the other world, you need to be on the planet. He's already in there.
Where?
Zig and Izzi appeared in the mountain. As Otto went to open a portal, but there was nothing there. He shook his head. This means that in order to go to the other world... that's Otto saying that? Or is that Zig?
No, I think that's Zig.
That's Zig?
Yeah.
Okay. You need to be on the planet.
It's the same line, so Zig's still doing it. You just get the idea that Otto's trying to do it and it's not working.
Alright, and then Hannah had just woke up. Needs to be fixed. Hannah. You don't like K's.
K doesn't like me. It's right next to the L. So I try and do okay.
Hannah had just woke up. She walked into the room. What's going on? Feel like you should switch those. What's going on? A groggy sounding Hannah says, walking into the room.
What about that?
Oh, okay. Yeah. So instead of...
She just gets the hint just like that, so you don't have to do any explaining.
Yeah.
She understands
Hannah
that.
had just woke up. She walked into the room. What's going on? Infrazyg is no more, Zig said, as Otto went to the portal. Went to open a portal. I cannot do that. My brain flabbergasted. Zig is flabbergasted?
Yeah. There's no H.
There's 2 B's.
I don't think he expected it to go away.
Oof.
Yeah.
As Otto went to open a portal, but there was nothing to grab onto. He shook his head. This means that in order to go to the other world, you need to be on the planet. That's not 2 sentences. That's 1 sentence.
That's a good point. All right, recap.
You
Unless
ready?
you want to say something else.
No, I'm trying to figure out if there's anything else I would fix or add. But this one was a pretty quick one.
Well, there's also comment space.
Mm-hmm.
We'd love to hear what anyone else has to say. Even Shimari Reborn. We really appreciate all the things he's been doing for us.
Yeah.
All right.
Recap.
Recap it is.
Recap.
All right. The bullets exist for no reason.
The bullets exist for no reason. Forming yet another plan. Well, they already formed a plan in the other chapter. It's the men go off to cut off. The men go to cut off.
They go to, and now they're forming the plan in Infrazyg.
Okay.
They open the map and they see all the places that they have to go and all that.
Okay. Aw.
The journey is tough.
The journey is tough. The journey only seems easy.
Bunker to the rescue.
Bunker gives the event some exercise. I just got all the funny points. And then Renner to the rescue?
Because Bunker goes to help them get away, help them get in. And then Renner helps Bunker get in to the portal, and they get in and they escape. And then in the next scene, there's... Well, no, there's a problem. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. What you got? Wrong book.
Hint next month.
What's your problem?
I'm going to try and find it real quick. Oh, no, maybe not. Maybe not. Okay. I was worried that...
I actually think you should make Bunker and then Renner.
But it was too late. There was a single event making a mess of the mountain. Rabbit running around the ground. Swung at the creatures. Okay. I thought maybe I didn't write something here about this thing dying.
No, there's...
Okay. I was concerned.
Okay, so I actually think in the recap, it should be Bunker, then Renner to the rescue, and then the last thing in the recap is Infrazyg is no more. And we gotta denote that Infrazyg is still existence. His ship aspect is no longer there.
Yeah, he's all that's left of whatever that ship was is now on the planet with Zig.
Infra ship is no more. And clack clacks. Infra ship is no more. I like the idea of infra ship, so we denote. I'm not saying it is the infra ship. I'm saying infra ship because Infrazyg is still there.
Yeah, there you go. That's the next chapter. Pretty brief one, but it had to be done. They had to stop Zig from affecting the system some more.
Mm-hmm.
Bad enough they had a clone on Zig. Thanks for paying attention. listening, watching, whichever way you do it. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. But most importantly, comment. I want to hear from you guys.
Thank you.